anything impressive against the Texans. Neither did the committee. That was a tie game until Tyrod Taylor got hurt. The Packers stayed where they were after steadying themselves. They've only played one good half. And the Bucs stayed where they were, but we didn't hold against them. The terrible quarter they played against Tampa, they played very well on offense and defense. They made timely plays. Number one contenders, the Rams and the 49ers. Both of these teams can beat you anyway. They can beat you with great defense, they can beat you on the ground, and they can beat you through the air. You might say, Nick, prove it to me. Okay, great. Rams play the Bucs, Niners play the Packers this week. I think the committee will be vindicated. And then the controversy. Then what caused my wife came downstairs and told the committee they needed to be quiet. Someone slammed the door. It was an ugly scene. All I'm going to say is this. You don't need to trust me. Trust Fox Bet or any of your favorite gambling establishments. I challenge anyone to find a sports book in America where the literal favorites are not the Kansas City Chiefs. Much like Vegas, the committee, the remaining members of the committee, those with the courage to stay, are not going to overreact to an aberration built on an anomaly. They're not going to overreact to a bad pick and an awful fumble. They are going to stay the course knowing, just like Vegas knows, that the favorites are still the Kansas City Chiefs. So there it is. These are not standings. These are not power rankings, Broussard. These are tiers. And they will not be bullied, even internal pressure from committee members. There it is. I usually say you're going to shower me with applause, but I know today's a controversial day, so go ahead. Do your best.
Yeah, it is. And Nick, I hate to do this after we just celebrated you for getting in the Hall of Fame, but Nick, please tell me that was a comedy routine and that's a typo at the top of your tiers and that Kansas City's really not number one. So can we see the real list? Can we see the real tiers? Please tell me that was a comedy.
No, this is
No?
What do you mean? What do you mean? No, they're not the favorites.
Nick.
Tell me why. Tell me why they're not the favorites. Tell me why they're not the best team in football. I'm just curious.
Look, all I can say is thank God that the Associated Press, the USA Today coaches poll, Quinnipiac, all these polls out here are not run by your committee. Because this is ridiculous. And I like the Chiefs. But my goodness, how, Nick? How in the world can they be number one? Number one, they're coming off a loss. All right? Number two, they got arguably the worst defense in the NFL. All right? They're last in rushing by a mile. I get it, they played some tough teams, but still, who they going to have to beat in the playoffs? Tough teams. Tennessee runs the football. Yeah. Cleveland runs the football. Baltimore runs the football. All right, and then they're giving up 32.5 points a game. Patrick Mahomes has to wear his cape every single play for that defense.
Yeah.
All right, and Tampa Bay, Nick, should clearly be number one. First of all, give them a little respect as the defending Super Bowl champions. All right. Secondly, they got the best offense in football. They have even more weapons than Kansas City. And their defense, while it struggled, hadn't been nearly as bad as Kansas City's. And they have a track record that makes me say, you know what? They are going to improve. And not only do you not have them number one, you got the audacity to put them below the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams were lucky to beat an injury-plagued Indianapolis team Sunday. They struggled with them. And San Fran, they beat Philadelphia, who's one of your offensive offenses. And then who was the other team? Detroit, who's one of the worst teams in the league, as you got on your tiers. Nick, this is egregious. This is egregious.
Okay. So listen, you play was on the schedule, first of all, so I'm not going to hold that against the Niners. So it's very interesting. It sounds like Broussard is very confident the Bucs are going to beat the Rams this week. The committee is not. The committee believes this week we will have these two teams play each other, and the committee will be vindicated. But the Chiefs and Bucs are not on each other's schedule, so let's just leave the Bucs and Rams part out of it. Let's go Chiefs versus Bucs. It sounds like your gripe with the Chiefs is a defensive gripe. the Chiefs' defense is the reason. So let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say the Chiefs and Bucs offenses are similar. I think the Chiefs is far better, but set that aside. The Bucs defense, are we sure it's good? Because the Cowboys moved the ball all over the place, up and down the field. Oh, they're going to do that to everyone. But they didn't do that to the Chargers. Cowboys had 17 points against the Chargers until a 56-yard field goal at the gun. Oh, but Atlanta's going to, Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley, they're going to move the week before, Atlanta scored 6 points against Philadelphia. And those teams moved the ball at will on Tampa. So, if your concern about Kansas City is its defense, one would ask, should that concern not be echoed entirely about Tampa? And can you make the case that Tampa's going to have a great defense without saying, but what about last year? Because the committee does not look backwards, the committee looks forwards. We're not worried about what happened yesterday or last week or last epoch. We're worried about what will happen tomorrow and today. And so, I'm just curious, is there a great case to be made that Tampa has a great defense? Because I haven't seen it. I've seen injuries. I've seen guys move the ball on them. I just haven't seen the great defense. That's it.
Nick, you have to take last year into consideration when all of your starters are back. When your defensive coordinator is back and he's excellent, Todd Bowles. That's the thing. All I'm saying is track record. If the Chiefs came out and lost both of their first games, you would look at their track record to say they're fine. They're fine. And that's what you're doing now. Because you can't be basing it on these 2 games. You've got to be basing it on last year. Right? Because they didn't look great against Cleveland, and they certainly didn't look great against Baltimore.
It's like a beautiful tapestry that's hung on your wall, a quilt with, things from all different places of the world. There's a lot of things that go into this. What it is not, however, Wilds, is a standings. And what we will not do, and what all the power rankings across America will do, is say, who are the 2-0 teams? Those 7, they all are the top 7. Yeah, a monkey with a typewriter can do that. That is not what we have the committee for, Wilds.
I totally agree.
And first of all, let me apologize for my friend Broussard's tone. Again, Broussard, less vinegar, more honey. And I apologize that you had 2 committee members leave. My goodness, I am sorry. If there is room for 2 more committee members, maybe all we ask for is a few sunflower seeds and some dried fruit. Perhaps you can make some space. We are available Tuesday nights. And I will just show you what we would bring to the committee. How about that? We'll just bring. I brought a petition here. I will treat you with the utmost respect. I would ask the Raiders to be moved up for the following reasons contained henceforth. Reason number 1, air attack. What is the air attack, you might say? Derek Carr leads the NFL with 817 passing yards. Only Russell Wilson has been better on deep passes. Darren Waller leads the NFL with 26 targets. They are flying through the air, just like my friend Ulysses here. Reason number 2, incoming attack. The Raiders right now are the anti-Ravens. Yet another bird reference. They won't run. 67 total rushing yards. But that's because Josh Jacobs isn't healthy. Once Josh Jacobs comes back, oh my goodness gracious, this offense will become even more dynamic. So look ahead a little bit. Reason number 3, attacking the quarterback. A classic John Gruden. 35% pressure rate. And PFF, which is a different statistic, but just adds more fuel to the fire, highest rated pass rush in the 2021 season. It's our old friend, the Raiders, Cardinals, yet another bird. What a day for birds across the nation. Finally, looking at 3-0. I know the committee's looking forward. You got the Dolphins coming in with an injured Tua. Tua's not in. Jacoby Brissett, great Patriot, but I don't think he's going to win. So the Raiders are going to move to 3-0. I think they should move above the Ravens, who they literally beat. Go ahead. Yeah, they did beat the Ravens, but once again, these are not standings, and we give Joe some credit for the 55-yard field goal, the gun that he hit, but we don't know if that's...
Okay, so you've been listening to, of course, Get Up this morning, and of course they had their tiers. I still don't know where they have the Cowboys in the tier. I must have missed it in there. Their case, of course, course, Kansas City was coming off of a loss, being the number one team. Of course, Tampa Bay being the case for being the number one team, being 2-0. They put up that, the Cowboys, they moved the ball all over the place. Well, to make that argument, some people have said that the Dallas Cowboys, with the weapons they have the best offense in football. So if you have the best offense in football, or one of the top ones, you will move the ball against them. I get what they're saying about Atlanta being a bad team, but Atlanta's always been a very offensive team, regardless of how they didn't show it against the Eagles. What I will say is this, because if you look at the polls, do they really mean anything? I mean, one poll I saw Cowboys, I think 17th or 18th, somewhere in there, and then they have the Chargers at 15th. The Cowboys beat the Chargers in their stadium. So how do you have the Chargers with the same record, having lost to the Cowboys, rated higher? And that's me, I know I'm a homer, but in my mind, how do you win that game and you're rated still behind them? And of course, the pundits will say, well, because you had to kick a last-second field goal to win, because the other team made mistakes. Guys, that's football in general. That happens. There are always going to be nail-biting games that can go either way. Usually the better team finds a way to win. The worst team finds a way to lose. And that's usually been the Dallas Cowboys, that when things weren't going perfect for them, or everything lining up and having all their players, they find a way to lose. This is where I do feel that the Cowboys are better than maybe they give credit. And right now, first two games of the season, they were underdogs. They covered both times against Tampa Bay. Nobody gave them a chance. Even the so-called Skip Bayless, a.k.a. my Dallas Cowboys, when they do something right. He even thought that Tampa Bay was going to pummel. He went on board with basically saying, how could the NFL do this to the Dallas Cowboys? Basically saying they were going to be an embarrassment. The fact that this thing had to go down to a last-second field goal to the defending Super Bowl champions in their house should make you feel better. And with the Cowboys last week having a multitude of injuries, going to San Diego, an up-and-coming team with a really good quarterback, should make you feel a little bit better. As well as now, even though we're missing some players, that we're kind of in the soft underbelly of the schedule. And this will give the Cowboys a chance to maybe start trying to get ahead. You look at the rest of the teams in our division, the next few weeks, the next 5 weeks, are brutal to most of them. And forget about what Bert Gang said last night, that, he thinks that they're going to be 3-3. Guys, they literally have us, they have Kansas City, they have Tampa Bay. I mean, they've got a lot of games in there that are going to be really, really tough. If they are in first place after the next 6 games, I will be more than happy to give them credit. I will be more than happy to say, you guys are the bomb diggity. No, you just are. That's what it's true. Everybody says I'm the OG, and it's supposed to be original gangster, but I think what they're really doing is saying, oh my God, y'all think you're cute. You think you're cute, but I got you. I understand what you're doing. Hope you guys are and ladies are having a great day, and I'm going to keep on rolling and get on to my day job. And I'll see you later. Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And speaking of working, I got my day job to do, and I'm working my behind on down the road to go ahead and take care of my day job, because that's what I do. So I was watching, listening to Get Up, and they're talking about tears, kind of like those tears that those Giant fans are having right now. Giants, you literally they just reached in and grabbed your heart, just ripped it out. They just ripped that sucker out. So, but not those kind of tears. They're actually talking about tears of teams, of their, where they belong, putting teams like the Jets and the Giants up in there in the tier that's like y'all ain't going nowhere tier. Yeah, I guess that is tiers in there too. And I'm still mystified where they actually had the Cowboys in there, and I've got this conversation. The thing that's interesting to me is actually how do we feel about our team right now? The thing I will caution everybody about, and I've been standing on a soapbox. I'm looking for a soapbox. You got a soapbox that you want to actually get rid of? I like those old antique boxes. They're kind of cool. I'd like to have one to put outside so I can stand on it. I think that would actually be cool. To stand on the actual soapbox and say my stuff. But just let me know. Just leave a comment in there if you got a soapbox that you want to get rid of. My question is, or as I've been standing on my soapbox, like I've been saying over and over again, you don't know what teams really are until really October. Okay? You know, we got people that are on the Cardinals bandwagon, and oh my God, they look so great. But I will tell you that the Cardinals once started out 4-0 and proceeded to lose the next 12 games, literally looking like ass. They're talking about the Raiders. Oh my God, the Raiders starting out 2-0. Well, you know, the Raiders started out 2-0 like they do every year, and they end up falling on their face. They just do. So you have September teams, and then you have the real teams that really are late in the season. Now the Cowboys, we have not started 0-2 since 2010. One of the longest running times without going 0-2. So this is kind of typical for the Cowboys. Now, we had the moral victory against Tampa Bay. We had the, find a way to win game against San Diego. I keep saying San Diego. You know, they for my mental health, they need to take the Chargers and move them back to San Diego. I will never ever get that right. It's something so wrong. They don't belong in LA. Have you ever been to San Diego? Why would you leave San Diego for LA? Nothing against you, LA, but come on, you're sharing a stadium. Anyway, I caution you about making early season predictions right now. Wait till about week 4, week 5. Then you'll get a better, true picture of what teams are. Maybe. I will say this much about my Cowboys. Their defense is truly better, far and away better than they were last year. That's an improvement. The other positive is they've been able to weather the storm of injuries, and it seems like the players are buying into what the Dallas Cowboys are trying to teach them. So here's, get up. Or first things first. And their arguments of Tampa Bay, Kansas City, or the Raiders is the best team in football. And then, of course, my final take on it. Yeah. Hope you're having a good day.